Hi guys, good morning everyone. Welcome to the presentation. My name is Tandavan Bhubalan. I am a technical specialist here at AutoCAD. So today I'm going to take you through this core topics of fabrication for the MEP. So before getting into this core topic of fabrication of MEP, I would like to start with the quick intro on BIM. What is BIM information modeling, and so what are the tools can be used for the design point of view. Then I will take you through this core topics of the fabrication for the MEP. So I hope many of you know about what is BIM and what are the tools can be used for the in the conceptual design stage as well as in the design development stage. So later on, I'll be taking you through the, as I mentioned, like I'll take you through the core topic. Since I'm working from home, so sorry for some external disturbance here. Yeah, and just a minute. Yeah. So here I would request you to please go through our safe harbor slide. So I'll give you like a minute time. So just quickly, if you can go through this safe harbor slide, so then I can start my presentation. So the questionnaire session, I will keep it in the last. I'll give you like 10 to 15 minutes for the questions. So if you have any questions, and we do have some poll questions also, so we can keep it at the last. So if you have any questions in between, please let me know in the at the last. Okay, I'll just move on with the slide. Yeah. So as I mentioned, like many of you know what is building information modeling, BIM, and we have been keep talking about the BIM concept and all. So I hope some of you like new to BIM, or they might be using 2D platform like AutoCAD, and they're interested to move to BIM modeling, so 2D to 3D transition. So for them, I just give a quick intro what is BIM. So in my point of view, BIM is nothing but a complete life cycle of the building. So like where starting from conceptual design modeling to the design development, creating a schematic drawings, and BIM helps you in creating a shop drawings, as well as it helps you on creating your until the facility management, you know, like starting from conceptual till the execution, which is the facility management. So BIM helps you in all the stages. And also with BIM, where we can able to improve our project understanding, and you can make a better decision making also, and it helps to share and use the same consistent data across the throughout the project life cycle, starting from your desk or from the field as well. And using BIM, where you can respond to the change with the process that are which can be like smarter and faster also. And if you take about like connected BIM technology, which is like our cloud platform common data environment, so where you can keep your project on the cloud so that everyone can access to the project. Within your team members as well as from the external team members, like maybe your project stakeholders can access your project. Now maybe for example, now everyone are due to this uncertainty situation, like everyone are working from home, and they don't have a proper access to the office systems and all, and you wanted to have a proper communication with the data, with your project data. So where this situation you can where we have an announcement also, this where I will let you know like what is the announcement of from Autodesk side. So for example, if you have a project on the cloud, so that people whoever anywhere anytime access, like you can access the project anywhere anytime, even from your home remotely, you can access to the project. You can mark some issues or any design changes. You can communicate with your multidisciplinary team members here, right? And so the advantage of keeping the model on the cloud, like so you can immediately. And also you can have a different aspects, like you can have a model like a document management, design, cloud design collaborations, and even if you wanted to manage your field activities and project activities like checklists, so everything can be managed through your cloud. And the announcement what I mentioned here is like since people are working from home, so we have a quick announcement here. Home use licenses. So if you have a license at office, if you wanted to use it at your home, so you can go through this link, and we have some extended access program for our cloud collaboration products like BIM 360, Fusion 360. So usually our trial version are only for 30 days, which is for 1 month. Now we have given like a 90 days extended program, so you can go through this link. I'll just quickly take you through this link. If you can just go to this knowledge.orders.com, so you can able to go through these kind of announcements. For example, if you are looking at if you want to request your licenses to use your software at home, you can just go through this page. You can sign in and you can just follow this step-by-step activities. And if you would like to know what are the extended access program, so these are the cloud platform like BIM 360, Docs, Design, Fusion 360, Fusion Team, Shotgun. So for all these cloud platform, we are extended the products until May 31st here. So like 90 days. And you can just go and Google it. Like if you want to create a BIM 360 trial license, you can create it. You can use it for 90 days, and you can invite your office members to your project, and you can work on it. So if you have a laptop, you can just those who are project managers or a BIM managers attending this session, so they no need to have a, for example, they are not a Revit users, they are not doing any design changes on Revit. In this situation, they can make use of this cloud platform, so that they can, if there is any issues on it, they can just quickly mark on it, and they can mark it to their team members or the different stakeholders also. So in this point of time, so this cloud platform will help you. And I'll just go back to this presentation. Yeah. So if you look at the challenges, the business, the MEP business challenges, the main point is like a disconnected workflow. The reason is like the separate tools are being used by project stakeholders, and obviously there will be a disconnected workflow. They use multiple softwares. They cannot able to transfer the data from one software to another software. If they want to do it, there will be a lot of data loss will be there. If they want to connect from design to till the fabrication and installing the MEP equipments at the site, so there should be a one connected workflow, right? So now the main business challenges in MEP is like they have different applications are used by different project stakeholders. So that's where the main challenges come in. And the next thing is like if you look at the fast track project schedules, so there are many challenging projects are coming up in the coming up in the market. So like they want to challenge this managing the coordination. There is a main thing like where they want to have a proper coordination with the different multidisciplinary team members. Like they want to have a proper class deduction in the early stage of the design, so that they can avoid lot of rework at the site. So they want to have a coordination between the structure with the MEP, or within the MEP also they need to have a proper coordination. So what are the tools can be used here for the coordination point of view, so that they can, whatever the issues they are finding out in the design phase, they can rectify it in the design phase, and when it goes to the site, they can take it as a clash-free model, zero clash-free model. So this is the main another MEP, another business challenges I can look into it. And the other thing is like hiring and retaining the talent, like for example, so adapting now the team, like they wanted to adapt to a new technology. There are lack of technology gap is there to address it. And the other thing is like when you start using BIM, and if you want to know the benefits of using BIM for the MEP platform, I'm mainly talking about it here, is like where which helps you to connect your design, starting from design to the detailing your HVAC services or piping services or your electrical services, and how we can take it to the fabrication point of view. So it's like one connected workflow. So this helps you to till the field you can connect and you can install it and construct it. So that is where this benefit of MEP comes in, and which helps you to meet all the BIM requirements. For example, let's say if you are doing some HVAC calculation like heating and cooling load calculation, you wanted to get into this LEED certification, right? The LEED certification, building efficiency, you wanted to calculate it. So there are a lot of standards like ASTRE standards are involved into it. So if you want to meet those kind of BIM requirements, and if you want to meet the BIM mandate requirements by the stakeholders, so which this workflow will help you to achieve that. And again, engaging in the earlier and collaborate with the better multidisciplinary team members. Again, our one connected BIM which comes in our cloud platform like BIM 360. So again, like where you have the project on the cloud, so everyone may have access to that project. So earlier in the design process and the early design phase, where you can able to resolve all the issues here, and you can have a proper coordination in the project and at the site level also. So quickly, just to want to take you through this 4 different stages of BIM. As I mentioned earlier, it starts from concept, design, detail development, and fabrication installation. So what are the solutions can be used in the conceptual design stage level here? So let's say, for example, I'll start with uh, Revit. Obviously, everyone who are attending this session know what is Revit, or if someone is new to Revit, they wanted to start using Revit software. I just give a small introduction. Revit is a one single platform where you can do architecture design, structure designing, as well as all your MEP services also. In one single platform, you can come up with all 3 different types of modeling here. And within the Revit itself, if you wanted to come up with some analyzing also, so we have some analyzing options like Insight 360, where you can come up with your building energy efficiencies here. And with Revit, where we're creating a 3D modeling and you generate a multiple floor plan sections, elevations, schedules, and everything. If you make changes in one single view, it will complete throughout the project. The changes will be updated so that it will be reflected till the quantification as well as in the shop drawings also. So that's what we call like a digital prototyping, and it's a single source of truth actually. And the other thing is like when you start with the conceptual modeling, so Revit will start helping you in terms of creating a mass model, then you can take it to the detailed design development also. And in between, like before going with all this process, maybe for example, I hope you might have heard about laser scanning, right? Point cloud kind of technologies right now. So whatever the existing modeling, maybe like a 50 years old building or any kind of construction, any existing construction, if they wanted to do some renovation, if you guys are involved into a renovation project, maybe interior or exterior, if you want, the existing building, they might not be having a proper CAD drawing, right? CAD design data will not be available. So if you don't have a proper design data, you cannot do a proper renovation work on it, right? So what you can do is like there are some scanner machines like a LiDAR scan machine, Faro scanner machine is available at the market. So you can place those kind of scanner machine to capture the complete. It just throws the lasers and it captures the point data. So there are millions of points would be there. So it gives you accurate information, right? So what you can do is you can bring in all the point cloud data into Autodesk Recap. So in Recap, you can do some cleaner process, because when you do the scanning, so you're not doing one single scanning, right? You might be doing a multiple scanning, depends upon the size of the project. So when you have this multiple scanning, you want to stitch all together in one single point cloud data, and you want to do some cleanup process. Like for example, when you're doing a scanning, a person might be walking here and there in the site, so everything will get captured. So when you want to take those point cloud data into the designing point of view, so you want to do some cleaning process. What are the unnecessary data, you can clear it out in the Recap software, and you can take it to Revit for the design development. And if you want to do some further analyzing and visualization, you can do with the help of Revit, you can achieve that. And not only for the renovation kind of project, even some of the massive projects like Bangalore International project, or if you take some L&T projects and all, they work on like a massive projects, right? So when already they are into BIM and they are using a BIM data for the construction. So when the construction is ongoing, if they would like to have a as-built comparison, they wanted to verify, if they wanted to verify the BIM data and the construction, the existing the construction or the site construction, they want to match it, they want to compare it, whether it is the data is correct or wrong, or if they're not following a proper BIM data at the site, so there will be a lot of variations will be there. So if you want to have a comparison of as-built model, so they can still use point cloud, same technologies like laser scan machine. They can scan it around the site and they can have a proper comparison. With the help of Novice Work, they can bring in the point cloud data and bring in the BIM data, and they can compare it. If there is any variation, they can find it out in the early stage also. So in both different ways, they use Autodesk recap technologies here. So just quick overview on our BIM scan to BIM process. So when you're doing the scan to BIM process, so which helps you, for example, let's say I'm placing a laser scan data on a multiple site location, different coordinates. I'm scanning this complete building. So this building has been brought into Revit, and you can see it's not a 3D model actually, it's just a points, okay? But it looks like a complete 3D model. It's just a millions of points you can see. If you can zoom in, you can see a complete point over there, okay? So where you can able to take a section elevation views here, and you can start creating walls, placing your door components and furniture components, you can work on it, and you can create all kind of structural elements and MEP services out of it. And this scan to BIM process is not only meant only for the architecture or structure, it can be used for the MEP services also. It captures the entire data so that you get the complete output of a 3D model. And once this process is done, or for example, if you have a mass model, if you wanted to, before placing any kind of AD terminals or HVAC services in your building, you wanted to calculate the proper energy, you want to come up with the proper energy calculation for your building. So because just like that, we cannot place any supply AD terminals, or I'm placing a fan coil unit or air handling unit. We are not doing it straight away, right? So before doing any designing process, we need to come up with a proper calculation here, right? So where to have a proper design performance, and you wanted to optimize your building performance in the early design process, and you want to send it for, so you want to get some approval for your LEED certification with the proper BIM mandate standards and all, if you want to follow, if you want to have a proper daylighting analysis and solar radiation analysis, if you want to carry out, so where Insight 360 will help you. So this Insight 360 is a cloud-based platform which will work in top of Revit. You're not running a separate application to use this energy performance. So inside Revit, so there is a separate plugin would be there, separate add-on tab, which is called Insight 360. You can use this application to have the complete data here. So what exactly the Insight 360 does is, so here, let's say for example, this is a cloud-based platform, as I mentioned. So from Revit, you can push the model to the cloud, and so from there you can able to have a complete for the year. What is the energy consumption? What is the cost of it? Okay. So for the whole year, what is the cost? And you can have a design comparison also. You can see the right hand side the complete 3D model of that. So it can be from it can be a mass model, or it can be a complete design development model also. That's not a problem. So it takes the complete architectural information. It takes your wall properties, it takes your material properties, it takes all your roof lighting efficiencies, everything it will take into the consideration, and you can have a complete scenario. So what it does is, so once the calculation is running, you can able to have a proper operating schedule, proper lighting efficiency, plug load efficiency, and there are different ways you can able to run your calculations here. And you can see the complete graph over there, and where you can have a proper costing difference also, and what is the efficiency level. And here you can see that it takes the, as I mentioned, like it takes all your window properties also, okay, whatever the building elements are there in the model, so it takes all the properties of the element into the consideration, and that's where the BIM comes. And here you can see the scenarios, like the red indicates the lower performance and the green indicates the higher performance of the building here, so which falls based on the ASHRAE standards. If it is below the specific ASHRAE standard, it goes to the poor quality, and if it is perfectly achieving to that ASHRAE standard, it comes with the orange, and if it is proper carbon neutral model, it comes in a green. And you might have heard about AIA, which is Architecture 2030 Commitment, AIA, American Institute of Architects, which they have made a commitment in 2030, saying that so in the year of 2030, all the models, all the projects should be in a carbon neutral model. So based on that regulation, so I come up with some BIM mandate standards also. And if you want to explore inside 360, you can just go to our knowledgenetwork.com, or you can just Google it like Autodesk Inside 360. It take you through some of the AEC learning collection site. You can just, there are a couple of videos out there how to get started with the Inside 360 and how you can use reviewing the energy performance, and you can take you through some Revit blocks also. So where you can learn everything about your building performance analysis. So there are many useful informations are there at the site or order site. You can please go through that and you can start using it. So there is no much of effort you need to spend on learning this technology. It's very easy to install and learning it and start using it also. So coming to next, like, which is about like automating, how to automate your design. Maybe if you're already a Revit user, okay, maybe the attendees, some of you are already using Revit, they're using our complete options in Revit. Or if they want to, for those people, if they wanted to automate some of the options, for example, let's say I'm placing some air terminals or lighting fixture throughout the, let's say for example, I have a very big project like a shopping mall project or a residential project. I am placing a lot of light fixtures and sprinklers very manually, or I'm using copy command or array command. I want to automate this process. I wanted to place those elements very quickly in an efficient way. So where you can use Dynamo in that. And also if you wanted to do some complex modeling building system, if you wanted to do that, you can use Dynamo. Or if you are using some documentation process which is taking a lot of time, like I wanted to create 1,000 sheets of shop drawings I wanted to generate it. So again, it is taking a lot of time in Revit. So these kind of process, I wanted to come up with some productivity kind of options. You can use Dynamo here. So Dynamo helps you in multiple ways. I cannot tell you Dynamo can be used only for some sort of scheduling or some sort of automation of sheet drawing. So it can be used in a different ways actually. For example, let's say here I wanted to link some Excel, okay, Excel and spaces, okay. So usually in current Revit option, we don't have an option to link the Excel, right? So where with the help of Dynamo, where you can able to link the Excel data, complete spreadsheet with all the room information and space information can be linked, which can improve your efficiency and accuracies of your project here. And let's say if you want to have a airflow values you want to distribute across the actual terminals, you can use it. Let's say maybe you want to create a wall openings, right? Because whenever you make MEP services, you want to think in your mind whether my duct or pipe or cable tray is clashing my partition wall or any kind of main walls or external walls. So you wanted to have a builder's openings. You want to take a clash report. You want to send it to the architecture who they can create, where they can create a builder's opening on the wall. So to kind of automate all this process, you can use Dynamo, which can predict your wall opening, and it helps you to create your wall opening wherever there is a clash in the MEP services. Okay, so there are many things can be done with the help of Dynamo. You can make use of it. Okay, and the other thing is like, yeah. So these are the solutions can be used in the conceptual as well as in the design development also. When it comes to a kind of a detailing or obviously the coordination points come in, right? So where you want to run the coordination. This coordination, like simultaneously when you're working on the design, you want to run your coordination also. That's where you can identify the clashes in the yearly design phase, so that you can avoid lot of reworks at the site. When it goes to a complete clash model, there are a lot of coordination issue will happen at the site. So to resolve everything, so in the system itself, you can create all builders opening or any clashes between the cable traverse column or whatever the MEP services clashes, you can resolve everything over here. So and not only the clash reduction, if you want to work on some kind of 4D timeliner, because so far we have been talking about like a 3D, or some might be they already using a 4D technology also, which is like a time-based modeling. So those kind of options also available within Navis Work. Or if you want to come up with some quantification, yeah, Revit also will help you to create a quantification and to generate the BOQ. And Navis Work also can do it. For example, let's say you have a federated model of complete structure, architecture, and mechanical, electrical, firefighting, and plumbing discipline. You have a lot. You have like more than 5-6 projects in one place. You want to navigate those model, where Navis Work will make the model completely light, so it's very useful to get inside the model, walk through, create some animations out of it. So everything can be possible apart from class selection also. So just quick an overview on it. Let's say I have a model in Revit. You can say complete MEP services out of it. So this MEP services, I have like HVAC services, plumbing, and some of the cable tray, everything is available in the model, some plumbing features also. So this model I want to push it to Navis Work for the coordination purpose. So from Revit directly you can able to export as a NWC file, that is a Navis Work catch file. Okay, so directly you can export it and go to Navis Work. So this is a model. We have a structure, architecture and structure and MEP information. Now I'm just running a class production. So there is a option of selection A and selection B. I can select some of the, let's say for example, I have some clearance zone clashes, I want to find it out, or I want to find some clashes between the VAV unit and with some pipe accessories like pipe fittings and pipes. So when I run the clashes, so here I have the VAV unit. I can see some pipes over there. Okay, so which is running nearby. I wanted to identify some clashes as well as some of the clearance clash also. So clearance clash is like where if you don't have you will not have a proper intersection. Still, if you wanted to have a clearance between two different categories, you can have those kind of test also here. So here I have some 9 clashes identified here. So some of the pipes are clashing with some of the VAV units, and here we have the status also. You have new, active, reviewed, and approved. Those kind of clashes also available here. So from there you can just run through some of the for example, if you want to assign some clashes to some of the person also, you can assign it. You can generate a report out of it. You can see what are the ducts are clashing along with the cable to or something. Or if you make a switchback option, it will take it to Revit, because from Navis Work, if you make a switchback, it goes to Revit and it shows me where exactly the element is located, because it saves you a lot of time in terms of no need to spend time on identifying the elements. So apart from this also, we have some element ID option also. With the help of element ID also, you can able to locate the element here. So here I'll do some changes. So based on that, my Navis Work model will get updated. So this is how you, in the early stage, you identify the clashes. And apart from these clashes, like if you wanted to run some of like, as I mentioned, like a 4D, which is timeliner. If you are using some Primavera or MSP or some sort of software to do a project planning, you can link with this Navis Work and you can do some kind of animations like this. In the left hand side, you can see some green green coded one, which is showing our current progress of construction and how much percentage has been completed, and you can involve some of the crane movement at the site, how it is moving. So these kind of animation also can be done, starting from excavation, how the substructure, superstructure, and structure element and architecture element is getting constructed. You can show them. And I'm just as an example, I'm showing this, but if you are completely on a MEP servicing installation, yes, you can do it for the MEP also. How your HVAC duct or cable tray or your piping network has been placed at the site also, you can come up with some kind of timeline here. Or if you're not involved into this kind of complete MSP or Primavera kind of software, you're not using it, or if you want to, in that case, if you want to quickly show some of the animation sequence and 4D timeline like this also, yes, you can do it with the help of Navis Work itself. Within the Navis Work also, you can start creating some of the tasks and you can start using it. So these are the solutions can be used in the design point of view. So I will just take you through from as to a core MEP. So when have a proper HVAC services in the Revit, and how you can take it to further fabrication or estimating or nesting or to the site installation. So what are the solutions can be used as a core MEP kind of in a core MEP point of view. So let's say, for example, I'll take you to the detailing process. The main thing here is like, which is about LOD 400 content. So LOD 400 content is like, as I showed you, some multiple stages, right? Conceptual design stage, where you can come up with some LOD 100 model, and in design development or schematic, which is LOD 200 and LOD 300, and LOD 400 and 500 content is like a as-built model, right? So which has a lot of information. For example, since you are all from MEP side, and if you wanted to build the LOD 400 content, you want to place a lot of hangers and supports, and you want to create a proper fabrication drawing, shop drawing, estimation. You want to come up with a proper estimation on how you can install it, because if you have multiple hangers and you need a proper point, the coordinate points of the hangers to install it at the site, and how you can connect those coordination point to your total station, or some, if you are using some advanced technologies like scanners and all, you can connect those data to the scanners, so it automatically shows you at the site wherever you can to drill it and install the hangers. So these up to this technology you can use our Autodesk solutions here. Okay, I'll just show you the workflow here. The workflow is nothing but, when you start with Revit, obviously everyone will be starting with Revit on creating your all your MEP services, right? So then you can take it to fabrication estimation, so that you can able to optimize the fabrication as well as fabrication system, as well as you can estimate your complete ductwork, so that before it goes to the manufacturing, or before it goes to the before it goes to the manufacturing or installation, you can have a proper estimation for your ductwork, how much, what is the costing, what is the material you're going to use it, and what is the waste, so that you can save a lot of material wastage at this kind of stage, okay, when you're using this proper solutions here. And then again, those kind of fabrication data, if you want to come bring it back into Revit, because some of them, they will accept only Revit model. In the Revit model itself, they wanted to show all the hangers and fabrication data, everything within the Revit itself. Yes, you can bring it back from the fabrication model. Again, you can bring it back into Revit also. You can show them. Okay, so this is the workflow process. And what it does is a database. If you look at the database, all these multiple work, right? For example, you have a design team, estimator, detailers, like fabrication shop and field operation. So all these verticals are using a one single database. Even a fabrication database can be used inside the Revit also. The Revit database also can be used across multiple solutions. So it's all following a single database here, which I can show it in the later stage also. And okay, let me start with the first thing, which is the Revit service configuration. So within the Revit, how you can configure your fabrication data here. So let's say, for example, I have a model in the Revit, and so this model is just, I have used all my Revit options to create the rectangular duct, round type, and all kind of connectivity. I have done it. So now I want to use my fabrication content. If I go to system and fabrication part, in the settings, I can able to add all my fabrication data here. So I can create my own company configuration also, or I can use my existing libraries like Imperial and metric content. So from the metric content here, I'm going to load some of the services. Okay, so these are the available services. These services are taken out from the Fabrication CADmep software. This is not a Revit services. There is a software called Fabrication CADmep. I hope some of you already know that software. So from there, I can able to load all these services. Let's say I have HVAC, return, supply, and duct board, duct extraction, and you can see spacing. Okay, there are a lot of services available for all the disciplines, even for the electrical also. Okay, electrical, containment, telecom, security, LV cables. Okay, it gives you the complete service package here. So I can load everything into Revit. Okay, so on the right hand side, I'm loading those services packages into Revit. Okay, so once it is loaded, I can able to see those services, those libraries in the MEP fabrication parts dialog box. So here I'm just loading some of the cold water, hot water, okay, which is for the domestic cold water and all, and some of the spacing and heating service is also available here. So once it is loaded, I just hit OK button here. So now the contents are getting imported into my project. So now we can see the complete content here, right? So it gives you all type of for example, service I have selected HVAC general supply. It gives me the part services, and if I wanted to add more parts also in this point of time also I can able to add more parts here. Okay, if I can go to the reload configuration again, I can go to settings and I can load some of the part wise also I can go there. So apart from services, if you are specifically looking for some of the parts which need to be loaded also, yes, you can click on the parts and you can expand one by one all the folders. If you're looking for HVAC equipment or systems or mechanical or public health or kind of structural components, you can expand it and you can add your junctions like two-way, three-way junctions you're looking for it, or elbow bend. So here I can add all these parts also. So once these parts has been added, it will be reflected back into the dialog box, which is the MEP fabrication part dialog box. And the same way, I'm going to add some of the around HVAC services like bend, curve, and there are other fittings also available. So whatever things I've added is displayed here. So I can make use of it. Okay. So this is the initial type of configuration where you can work on it. Okay. So it gives you some sort of hangers, and also hangers also it is available. Okay. By default in Revit you don't have hangers and supports. With the help of fabrication parts you can able to get some hangers also. So these are the standard fittings which is available inside Fabrication CADmep content. Okay. This is not a Revit library. This is a fabrication content. Okay. It has some wire mesh, baskets, okay, and all cable tray, ladder fittings and everything. So these type of rectangle hangers. So these are the options which I can use it inside the Revit. So if I to going further and if I wanted to convert my, once I have loaded everything, I want to convert my complete existing Revit services into a fabrication part. Okay, so which is used for the shop drawing and also for the fabricating my ductwork. Okay, I want to convert my complete data into the fabrication content. So in that point of view, it's very simple and easy. Let's say I have selected my HVAC services here. Okay, I can go to the filter because I have selected multiple categories here. In the filter, I have picked only my ducts and duct fittings. Okay, it includes only ducts and duct fitting. I go to design to adjust, a single button which is design to fabrication. These are the contents which I already loaded it. I'm just selecting which content I want to extract it. I have selected general extract. You can see the complete ductwork has been converted into a fabrication content. You can see a complete difference. This is literally, this is what I installed it at the site. You can see there was a radius bend which has been converted into a metered elbow, right? Metered fitting has been converted because I'm using a complete fabrication content. Even if you look at the duct also, it's completely different as compared to the Revit ducts, Revit default duct. And see, and the other thing is like you cannot go with the same length of duct, right? Because it need to be splitted based on the market available size, because in the market the whole duct length is not available, right? It is available on the based on the standard cut length. So I can optimize the complete length here by selecting all the ductwork. It automatically optimizes the lengths, and if you would like to change some services here, I can go to change services. I can choose if I want to apply some different sort of services here. I can come up with some return supply or exist, whatever it is, and I can work on some sizes parameters also here. So I click on the hit the optimize size. Just look at the, in a very quicker way, it optimizes the complete duct length. So even these pieces also can be edited if you are looking for some standard sizes. This is not a, maybe this is not applicable. This size is not applicable for your project. Yeah, still you can able to change some of the length and width and breadth of this. Okay, you can select it and you can able to modify it also. So you can just click on that. You can go to check the properties here and click on the edit part, and this is the width, depth and length of it. Okay, you can work on those sizes. So this is the easiest way and efficient way of converting your design to fabrication. Okay, so the next thing is like once the data has been converted as a fabrication content, okay, so that it's very easy for you to add hangers here. Okay, you can add the hangers inside the Revit also. You can use it. You can use Fabrication CADmep also to place your hangers and supports for your services. Let's look at it. You can see a complete data has been converted into fabrication content, and I have placed a lot of hangers and supports here. You can see all the hangers and supports. And now even once it is, maybe you will have an you might be having some doubt. Maybe once it is converted to a fabrication content, you'll be able to create some ductwork. Yes, it's possible. You can just select that and you can start creating as a fabrication content also. Just you can select two different points. You have a root and fill option also. It gives you different ways of connectivity of fittings. You can use it here. It gives you some multiple suggestions. You can use it which is working for you. Okay, we have this multi-point routing is also available. We can start creating a multi-point routing, which is not a, this is not a Revit duct. It's using a fabrication content duct. Okay. And for the estimation, once everything is ready, I want to push this complete model for the estimation purpose. You want to come up with a complete report summary. What is the estimation of the complete ductwork? If you want to do some sort of costing analysis and all variation analysis and costing analysis, I can select all these complete services, and this simple option you can export this complete ductwork as a MAG file, which is a job file. Okay, .mag. So I can export it as a MAG file. Now we can see 68 fabrication parts has been exported. I'll go to estimation CADmep. Okay, it's the software name called estimation CADmep. I'll use some default template, or I can just go and open the job file. The job file is already ready, which is exported right now. MAG file. I'm importing it right now here, and you can see a complete data. There is no data loss here. You can see as it is what is there in the Revit. It just imported into estimation CADmep with all the fittings information, and even the you can look at the optimize the cut length. It has what are the standard cut lengths I have created in the Revit. So all the standard cut length has been imported here. Check the properties also. It gives you the same properties of what content has been used, and it has the information, development informations, and if you want to add some costing or manufacturing information. So it has a lot of properties. Maybe these properties are not available in Revit, so you can use these kind of, you can include properties inside estimation CADmep for the costing analysis. So if I go to the costing analysis, I can come up with the area, what material, what is the weight, and what is the rate of it. Okay. So there is a different euro signs here. The currency is different, but you can change it to our currency value also. You can update it. The cost unit you can come up. So if I go to the database also, I can do some further changes in the database. So what is the E-rate database? I can go to the database and I can do some default changes also here. So this is, we can review your ductwork in the estimation. If I go to the estimation summary of the whole package, it gives you for the entire duct run, what is my rectangular stride and Lindap. This is a Lindap is a manufacturer name. So what is the fabrication and installed information, extension, markup, total size. Okay, it gives you the overall summary here. And this is the main database. If you want to do some default changes, you want to, based on your company standard, if you want to update some information here, you can go to the database always and you can come up with some default templates, adding costing information, wastage information, and price table, price list. If you want to update, you can update it. Okay, installation list. If you want to update, you can update it. So there is an, you can look at this labor rate is also available. Okay, so you can update your labor rate also here. So these are the information where you can do it with the estimation CADmep, right? And once the fabrication content, once it is estimated, right, you want to send it for the nesting, which is for the which I'm using it for. The software which I'm using here is a CAM duct. So inside the CAM duct, I've imported the complete model. You can see each and every item has been splitted. how many straight elements I have, how many fittings I have, how many pipe couplings or spiral tube or elbow tapper. So it divides a complete fittings right now here. Then I can go to the process. I'm just using the default one. Okay, I'm not creating anything new. So there's a two type of nesting: automatic nesting and manual nesting is also available. So here I'm using an automatic nesting option. Okay, if you want to go with the manual nesting also, yeah, you can create your own template and you can go with your manual nesting. So I'm using automatic nesting. It nested all the complete ductwork. You can see there is a sheet element. Okay, there's a sheet which all the nesting process has been completed here. If you would like to move it also, yes, you can customize and you can move it on top of the sheet. You can move your segments here. Okay, manually also you can work on it. If you want to write the NC code also, you can just go there and quickly click on the NC code. So I'm just going with the default values, the ranges and everything. I'm going with the default one. I'm creating a NC code. So you can see how it is getting in CADmep. You can see how it is getting manufactured, the nesting process. And apart from this also, you can come up with some of the reports, estimation reports, material reports, everything you can create it inside the CADmep. So this is how the nesting process will happen. You can see in the right hand side all the NC code is running out. So this is the CADmep process, and there are many other things also can be done with the nesting. Maybe if you want to create a spool sheet, also yes, you can able to create it. Complete reports if you want to generate it. Yes, the complete material report, nesting report. So whatever the reports you're looking for to get the complete report, you can create out of CADmep. So I cannot show the complete options right now here. I'm just going through the important options right now. So what you can do with the installation, once everything has been done, how I can install these hangers at the site, right? I have all the hangers in the model and I want to use those I want to come up with the hanger points, right? I need to have a proper hanger location points right now. So how to place these hanger location points? So I need to come up, I need to have a coordination points, no? That's where I can go to the site, I can drill it. So we cannot use the, nowadays at traditional method is like they use a tape and to come up with the tape measurement, or they use different type of options to come up with the proper location of the hangers. To avoid all these options, maybe I wanted to use some of options like point layout, or with the help of CADmep. Maybe I will take this model, I'll again export this model to Fabrication CADmep as a MAG file. I'm exporting it again. I'll go to the CADmep software. I'll open the job file. Okay, the same file I'm opening it here. So the file format is MAG. That's a common file format which can be used throughout for estimation CADmep also. So this is a one which I exported with all hanger informations here. Now I need to create a points here. So if you right click, you can go to the CADmep option. It have different cam. You can take it to cam. You can create a point layout. You can go to the utilities also to configure your IFC or exporting IFC configuration, which is industrial file configuration. And here I am selecting the complete object. It's a, those who are familiar with AutoCAD, it's not complicated to use CADmep. Still, it follows the same user interface. You look at the hanger points here. It creates the hanger points. If I want to compute this order, I wanted to know how I can put this. How I can order it based on the installation. So I can come up with. I can use this option called compute order. I can click on the point. It gives me, it orders. You can see how the path is generated. From there, second point, how you can go and drill it and install the hangers. So it gives you the complete path of it. And these points can be exported and you can connect back to the total station or some sort of different technology. If you are using it also, you can use it. So maybe that I can showcase you. Maybe there is a plugin called point layout. So this point layout can be used inside of Revit. Point layout. So this is inside the Revit user interface. I'm using this Autodesk point layout. You can install it. You can bring in all the points right now. So these are the complete point numbers. I'm applying it right here. So inside the Revit also you can get in all the points. And when I click on the zoom, it takes me to the specific hanger, which hanger has that point, the easting and northing elevation point. It takes me to that. Okay, so this is how you can use a point layout, and I can export it all your XYZ file, or okay, and you can the bottom you can see you can connect to the BIM 360 field also, okay, which creates the issues and field create option. Okay, you can directly connect to the our cloud services. So this is where you can use our point layout plugin efficiently. Okay, so it gives you a CSV output also. And just how to design your CADmep, because if you're using Revit only for the design, if you want to add some more design functionality, if you want to utilize from CADmep software also, yes, it is easy to use it. Let's say this is a CADmep software. The libraries also you can access from this drop-down icon. These are the set of services which I showed you already on the Revit user interface, because as I mentioned earlier, the same these are the services content which is used in Revit. Okay, you remember the first thing which you like service configuration of services in Revit, the same options, okay, the same content. So you can just directly you can take your choose your library, what type of duct you are going to use it. You can start creating it inside CADmep. You can create your branches left run or right run. You can start creating. You can see automatically it adds fittings and everything, right? All type of transitions, what type of elbows and everything you can create. And for the pipes, where you can able to create quickly a spool sheet, okay, spool diagram sheets also it will create very easily. And finally, once everything is ready, you can easily import back into Revit, the same image file you're importing it. See, so far you might have understand the workflow, right? So the workflow is very simple. Even though if I'm using 3-4 softwares also, which is like Revit, CADmep or estimation CADmep, CAMDEL, so I'm following the same workflow here, right? I'm not changing any of the file format. I just export and import the same kind of data without losing any information. So, right, I'm adding some of the stuff in the CADmep and I'm bringing back into Revit. Okay, it's very simple. And just a couple of slides. Okay, I know I'm running 5 minutes late here. Just bear with me. I'll just quickly show you. You might have thinking about how to create some point of component list here, because how to edit these kind of libraries. So there is an option called make part kind of options, where you can able to edit those kind of libraries, because when you using these kind of content inside Revit, you cannot able to do any changes. You cannot modify these kind of these fabrication fittings. You cannot modify inside Revit. So if you want to create your own customized customized fittings, you want to know what type of administration component list I can create inside fabrication content, Fabrication CADmep. So again, I just quickly show you these are the services, and these are the fittings which is available. Okay, so if I can quickly go to the setup services, I can select or I can create my new service also. Now it is like a general extract. I can add something on the same, or I can able to create a new one also. So maybe I can change this name. Okay, I can create a new one, and this under this services. So this is a new service option I can be able to create. So it's like I can create a copy. I'm creating a copy of the existing one. So these are the fittings is available under that services: round, rectangular, inline equipments, end of user end of line equipments, hangers. So these are the library content available. So I can duplicate one of that, or I can create a new one, or I can add or remove something out of it here. Okay, so this is how you manage the content here. So let me just quickly see. I just copied some of the content and I paste it under that content so that I can make use of it. Or if you want to show you some of the library content which is available in our Autodesk website, okay, which is our fabrication product. If you just go through knowledgenetwork.com, you can just Google common pattern numbers. It gives you a complete images of our fabrication library with all CAD numbers. So you can see all the numbers over here, which we can able to use it to identify the or track, or if you want to edit those kind of content inside CADmep, you can use that number here. So we have transitions, I have a lot of fittings available here. You can make use of this content. Okay, after this session, or if you just go through the knowledgenetwork.com, you can able to get this. Okay, so for example, let's say I want to do some, I want to import some of the element, I want to do some modification out of it. Here I'm choosing some dividing junction. Okay, two-way junction, I'm taking it right now here. Okay, so maybe I take this, I'll copy this ID and I will go to Fabrication CADmep. Okay, so this is the default one, which I have already created. Some branch I have created here as for example. Okay, so you can see for each and every content there is a CAD number. If you just select that, if you go and right click the properties, if you go and right click the get the CADmep properties, you can able to get the CAD number. It's a default one for every, like a standard number. Okay, so I can type my command line, command prompt, make part. I'll just see, I'm just entering 1131, which take me to the specific two-way junction, right? This is the one which I showed in my at the help site. Okay, so I can, right hand you can see the complete parameters where you can do some work on some changes. Okay, if you would like to change your right bottom width, or if you want to uh, create your bottom extension or top extension, you can create your complete parameters. You can do some changes here. So once you have modified all these parameters, you can able to use those. Just I'll fast forward this. I'm just changing all these values. Then I'll just yeah. So I'm adding all this item information, specification, installation specification, what material it is, what is the main facing, what is the main facing component. Okay, so after adding all these informations right here, I've given galvanized, then I'm saving this material component. Once it is saved, you can see if I change it, no, once I change this to my content, the one which I created initially, the new service, under the new services, I just drag and drop it into the general extract. So once it is updated, you can see in the right hand, the left hand side, this is the one which I've created right now. So I can drag and I can check once again and I can start placing it. So when I am start placing it, it should ask me what is the size of it. That is what I have given at the time of creation. I can make use of it. So the same content I can able to use it inside the because as I mentioned earlier, this is the same service which is used in Revit, right? I can able to get that here also. So it's so simple, like you're not making it much more complicated here. So whatever you create the content in the Fabrication CADmep, you're using the same content inside the Revit also. Let's say I'll just reload the configuration. See, now you can see it's like general extract, right? So when I change this to general extract, yeah, can you see the library, the component here? I can drag and place it here. I can start creating a, it has all the MEP connections, like I mean the HVAC connections available. I can right here and I can start creating my multi-point routing right here. Okay, it's as simple as that. You can use those kind of fittings. So this is a workflow of using our fabrication design to fabrication. So these are the solutions can be used, like starting from Revit, go to fabrication estimation to estimate your ductwork. Okay, and CADmep if you want to create some additional hangers or supports or some additional duct branches, extra services you want to work on it, you can create it. Okay, and then you can take it to CAMDuct for the manufacturing. So at this point of time, if you have any questions, please post it, or I will just quickly run through. Avinash, can you please run through the poll questions?
Sure, I'll start. While the Q&A session is happening, the poll questions will be flashing on your screen. So request you to just answer these questions. Thank you.
Is it displaying? When is the poll question is displaying, I cannot see that.
This time on is displaying, I'm getting response also.
Okay, okay, fine, fine. Once it is completed, please let me know, Avinash. Yeah, so in the meantime, I can see some questions in the so there is a question from which source Autodesk Insight 360 takes the weather data. Weather data, it depends upon our current location. Okay, so whenever you start with the project, like we need to define the project location, right? So based on the current project location, it takes the weather data, it takes latitude, longitude, and what is the current weather data, forecast, weather, everything will be pulled out from your current the given location of your project. Then it goes to the Insight 360. Unique classification code possible to maintain in fabrication. Yes, you can manage your classification codes can be managed in the fabrication products. How to maintain a part number for all the fittings in detail fabrication at site erection. See, part numbers that we need to, whenever you place your, when you're creating a, when you're placing a fittings, right? So there you can, for each and every fittings, you have to maintain the part numbers. So those part numbers will be managed throughout the workflow of your until you manufacture your ductwork. So for each and every part will have a unique part number. Even I showed you some of the CAD numbers, right? In the same way, you can manage that. So if you have any questions, you can post it out, or maybe if I some questions if I can't if I couldn't answer it also, what I can do is you can get back to me on my email address. Okay, you can get back to us. Maybe after the session also, someone from orders will call you. So if you'd like to have a separate session to your company addressing your management also, so we can have the detailed session. Maybe each one of you have a different type of requirements on usage of the products. So still we would like to have a individual sessions also. So whoever would like to have a separate webinar session, separate presentation from us, please let us know. We'll get back to you and we'll do a customized presentation addressing only to the queries, like whatever you based on your software usage, we'll address to that. So always feel free to get back to us. Actually, I missed your yesterday session. Yesterday it was more into a cloud based. No problem. I think it is by some, I can't remember the name. Okay, so yesterday was more into a BIM 360 cloud. Okay, how to manage the account on the cloud, or how to use how to make use of this trial when you're working at home. So April 6th, okay, you can make a note of it. April 6th, we have one more BIM 360 presentation, which you are talking, which you are going to talk only about our cloud solution, how to use document management, how to use Revit cloud work sharing options. April 6th, around 11 to 12 p.m., 1 hour, we are going to have the BIM 360 BIM 360 presentation. So you can attend that again. So you might be getting some invites also. If you're not having, if you're not get, if you haven't received any invite, let us know. We will share you the registration link. Thank you. So Avinash, poll question is over.
Last question. I'm done. Yes. Thanks, Raghav.
Yeah. So in meantime, if you have any other questions, yeah, we'll join at 6. Yeah, please. So those who are interested were going to join on April 6th for BIM 360. Please join us. We'll explain at this uncertainty situation how our BIM 360 cloud can help you to continue your design work or coordination work, how to make use of it. We're going to explain that. And related to, again, if you have any other questions related to Fabrication CADmep or Estimation CADmep or CAMDEC, please let me know. Or after this webinar session also, if we get any questions, please get back to us on email.
So just to add to what
Okay, so
that if you people want to attend the 6th April session, I will be mentioning the website address in this chat box, so you can register from that website. You will anyway be receiving this recorded session by email, but just posting it for your reference here.
yeah, that sounds good. I need the same today's session again with my partner as I missed yesterday. Okay. Okay, so we are good to go. Thanks again for joining the session. Thanks everyone. Please stay safe. Take care. Bye bye. Sorry, Lavanda.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.